Hello, my name is Joey Dramasic, and today I am joined by Colin Honahan, the founder of All Hail Basketball, and now the first ever content creator to have his own patch on a college jersey. Colin, thanks for joining me today. How are we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you having me on. Excited to talk a little RMU hoops.
Yeah, for sure. So before we get started, just take me through these last 24 hours after announcing that you're the first ever content creator to have your patch on a jersey.
It's been dope. We have had a great, really positive reaction from everybody involved. It was trending on Twitter for a little while, which was pretty crazy. Obviously, I live here in Pittsburgh, so seeing my name next to RMU just on a national spotlight so far has been incredible. We've talked to a ton of cool people. Some of the biggest names of basketball have chimed in on their thoughts, and it's been overwhelmingly positive. So I could not be more psyched. I'm so excited. Our video, it looks great. The team, they've got some great players, some great dudes, and I can't be more excited to get going here.
Yeah, watching the video myself, I mean, I thought it was put together well. I think the build up of everything, of like kind of how you guys got there, the little process of like your little checklist of like kind of your notes and stuff. Andy Tool going viral. I think if you guys got some clips on that, I think you guys will go pretty viral, to say the least. Um, but just so people that like don't know who you are, what is All Hail Basketball? Like, when does it start? Like, for me, like I know it's like a basketball program, but like for the people that don't know.
Yeah. So I started All Hail BBall when I was a senior in college. I played football at Holy Cross, which as fellow FCS ball. So you gotta stay true to your roots. But we started making videos strictly about the NBA, and had a great time with it, with telling stories. I just love to create. And I love to tell stories. That's the whole pitch of All Hail B-Ball. Over time, I moved out to Pittsburgh. It developed into its own being at this point. We travel the country each week, and we spend time with the top players around the country. Just this past weekend, we were with Louis Uo, who's the number one center in the country. We spent time with AJ DeBansa, Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, the best names in basketball. And we pretty much just tell their story, right? We get to see who they are as people off the court. And that's the whole point of All Hail B-Ball, is to show off the court who these guys are, who these teams are, who these programs are. We go around to the top colleges in the country, tour facilities. We've been to Duke, UNC, Arkansas, some of the biggest names of basketball. So that is the grand scheme of who we are. But what we really love, and what I think our differentiator on the page is I love to spotlight like the underrated kids, the kids that not everybody in the world has heard about yet. A good example is at our series Project Prospect we did here in Pittsburgh. We found a kid at Chartiers Valley named Luca Federico, who was unranked, unknown at the time, nervous, skinny, sophomore, playing local Pittsburgh hoops. And we're like, all right, we're going to give all of our assets to Luca and just see what we could do. We made 4 episodes about Luca, a bunch of short form content. He gained 20,000 followers on Instagram. He was able to, get invited to the Adidas basketball circuit for his AAU season. And sitting here 6 months later, he's a ranked recruit. The mission worked. He's got 8 Division I offers, including RMU, Nebraska, Virginia Tech, Northwestern, big time schools. So we like to be able to make a change in basketball and show the positive side, what the good stories are in hoops.
Yeah, and I think something that is cool about like the storytelling is exactly that last story there. It's like someone who didn't have, any, I guess, notice from anyone, and then you built him up to now. You said 8 D1 offers. Is that correct?
8 Division
Okay.
I offers, which is absurd. We got to actually watch him in our final episode with him, like see like
That's
him get one in
yeah,
person from Seton Hall, and it was. I felt like he was like my son. I was like, oh my god, this is
yeah.
crazy.
No, that's really cool. And then now the jersey patch. I guess now you could call yourself a pioneer. I think it's pretty safe to say, the first person to do something. And when I guess that title, I guess, gets thrown around, especially for you as a content creator, like how cool is that?
Oh, it's incredible, man. Just to be able to say that we're impacting the way that fans and media are consumed within college sports. That's been a dream of mine. We've been trying to reshape the relationship between creators and colleges for a long time now. Being a college athlete myself, there's definitely a gap for the guys to have good, strong stories told about them at this point in their career. So to be able to get in there and hopefully pave the way for other relationships with different creators and kind of open the dam for everybody to flood in and start, working with their favorite schools and realizing that these things are possible. It's cool to be at the forefront of it.
Yeah, now going like to I guess the deal itself with RMU, did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? How did the I guess process of this whole deal getting started?
Well, Coach Toole is the man, first of all. He's the coolest guy. Uh, Funny story with Coach Toole. Uh, I lived in the Strip District, and I
Mhm.
was getting lunch with a buddy, and a little kid came up to me and asked for a picture, which is always the coolest feeling. So I'm like, "Oh, sweet, let's do it." Turns out it was Coach Toole's son, and that was like maybe 2 years ago. And so we take the picture, and he's like, "My dad's the head coach of RMU," and I'm like, "All right, cool." And then Coach Toole
Yeah,
ended up following me, DMing me, like, thanks for the picture. And we've stayed in touch since. So we've been trying to find ways
yeah,
to work. They had reached out earlier this year, a few months back now, like with an idea of like, hey, we want to do something game changing. We want to do something creative. Like, we really want to let you come in and build out whatever you think could change the game, right? They essentially like, here's access to our program. Let's work to find a deal that nobody's done before in college
yeah,
basketball. So, my first thought immediately was, shoot, what if we throw a little patch on the jersey and we kind of, I think the next logical step up from our Project Prospect series is, can we do this with the school? Can we show that there's a model here that is repeatable? And I mean, I just love helping out like the local, like the Pittsburgh basketball community. I feel like in the 4 years I've lived here, it's really grown and we're really starting to see some movement. So I thought this would be the perfect step. We pitched it to, as you guys saw in the video, to Coach Shule and the team. Obviously, there's a lot more that went on behind the scenes than
yeah,
what you see in our,
yeah,
our fun YouTube video. We like to keep it light, but their new AD, Ron Moses came in and he's an absolute legend. He got this thing moving quick. My management team, my direct manager Amir, he has been like a blessing in this scenario. He was able to figure out like realistically like how does this tangibly work, right? There's so many moving parts. What does your deliverables look like? How do you put this on a contract so that a school, an administration is
mhm,
like, all right, let's do it. And they were able to work it all out, and shout out RMU because to take a risk on something like this, and I mean, in just a day, you could already see the impact that it's had just across sports media. Um, so it's definitely been a wild 24 hours, but this has been months in the making, and we're just excited that everyone gets to see it. And I can't wait to get back on campus and make our second episode here.
yeah. And so I guess going like what you just said, like getting back on campus, how do you plan on like following the team? What's your mindset? What are you looking to like create like with this team? I know you have program like different not programs, but like different series of certain things. Like how do you plan on focusing on RMU and making them as what you said in the video a few times a viral college program?
Yeah. So essentially, we've got a master plan, right? We
Mhm.
are looking to do at least 4 episodes to start the season. Obviously, we'd love to do more. We'd love to continue it. There'll be a bunch of short form content that comes out. But how this will kind of work is I first focus is getting in, meeting with the team, meeting with the players, like we saw in episode one. We want to start by building up the players' brands, right? We saw the success that we could have with Luca with one player, so why not do it at a team scale? But we want to make sure that the players are the focus, right? In our videos, you guys, if you watch them, you could probably notice I'm never the main character. As much as I'd like to be in my own videos for how much money I spend on them, but whatever. Um, I'm never the main character. It's always whoever we're filming with and that athlete, that story. We want to make sure first and foremost, the RMU athletes, the team, those are the ones that people are gravitating towards. I don't want you to be a fan of RMU because you're a fan of me. We want you to be a fan of RMU because of what they have and the players on the roster. They've got some great characters. I'm excited to work with them. And then from there, the goal turns to actually getting people into the seats. So once you know the players, once you know the team, we want to get you in the seats. Now, at the end of the day, we're trying to get people to come to games, but we're going to do it in the most fun, outlandish, creative ways possible. We're going to try to get billboards. We're trying to be all over the city, be on the news. Can we get local celebrities? Can we get other people? Can we get local artists to come in? I've got a
Mhm.
million different ideas of how we can creatively make people excited to come to RMU basketball games. We need to find a good slogan. I'm posting a video today. I like Hoop Township, but I feel like if we open it up to everybody else, we can get a good one. I'm just saying. So we'll
Yeah.
get something creative. We'll get some merchandise going, and then from there, once we get people into games, that's when we can really start to follow the season. And I will say this: whenever you sprinkle a little bit of love, a little bit of magic, you get the city excited, and players feel it. Players on the court always feel it. Now, obviously, as a football player, I can't tell you how they feel on the actual court coming in day after day, but when the city's excited, when the city's buzzing about a team, that team tends to go. So from there, it's up to the program. How far can we take it? RMU Cinderella run? Tell me that would make a movie style content? Come on. So we've got a
Yeah.
ton of plans, but essentially we'll find four main topics, from you can check out in our master plan at the end of the first episode. I kind of talked through those four first like big ideas, but it's involving getting the players in, building out their social platforms, making people fans of them, making people fans of the actual program, showing everything outside of just basketball, what RMU has to offer, getting people in the seats. And from there, we'll let the team do the talking and we'll follow them, build it out, and hopefully show a little magic on March.
Yeah, and for the last couple seasons being there, you're right with the whole like getting like the city behind the team's back. Last two seasons when it comes to end of January, February, and then into March, they've picked up some steam towards the end, like tons of winning streaks here and there, ending seasons on extremely high notes. But I just think with you, you have such a presence and platform in the city of Pittsburgh. When this was presented to you, how important was it for you, like, to get the deal done?
Incredibly. To have an opportunity to do something game changing that makes national headlines in your backyard. I fly every week. I'm in a different city every week. I wanted to find something that we can successfully do here in Pittsburgh and actually have an impact on our community. My favorite thing in the world is we do an AU tournament every year at the convention center, and I bring out the 12 best players from Pittsburgh and help let them play against. We're bringing the team full of five stars and let them compete. To see the amount of kids from year one, so this was year three, we've done it here. Every single year, the crowd increasing, kids being excited, kids taking pictures with the players that they see every week. They're now, becoming, they're almost a celebrity. That is by far the coolest feeling in the world, to be like, yo, we could directly impact the scene here in Pittsburgh. And it's growing and it's growing fast. So when they hit me up and they're like, do you want to do something that'll change the way creators work with colleges and we could do it in your backyard? I mean, it was a no-brainer. We had to find a way to do it, and we had to find a way to do it as soon as possible for this season. So I'm all about it, man. We want to help as many people, as many young athletes, as many programs, everybody that we can to help raise the floor when it comes to Pittsburgh basketball, because the ceiling will be endless.
And with this collaboration, what are some long-term goals that you have for this? Like, is it something that you hope to be with RMU for years to come? Is it something that you take RMU and like build from it? Like, what are your kind of goals for this?
Yeah, right now, our goal is this season to focus on how much impact we can generate in the next few months prior to the season kicking off. And then once the season gets going, how many people can we get in seats? How many people can we get to fully wrap themselves and embed themselves in RMU's basketball culture? From there, I think the sky's the limit. I would love to build a long-term relationship and show that, hey, this model, when you work with a creator directly, someone that's fully invested in their company, fully invested in who you're working with, right? Like, essentially, we're just an extension of the team. Like, we're there. We're gonna be at practices. We're gonna be doing everything. That is how we want this to be. That is that like relationship that we want to build. And so when you look at like a timeline, we don't really have one. It's we'll take this as far as we could possibly take it and make sure that we give our best foot forward when it comes to RMU and the fans, because that's who deserves it, man. We want to help the city, and that takes 1 year, that takes 2 years, that takes 10.
Yep.
Let's keep it rolling.
So you mentioned the fans, mentioned the students. One of the goals in your video was to get as many students to the games as possible. How do you plan on using your platform to get as many students that go to RMU and like the surrounding high schools to the UPMC Event Center?
Yeah, well, I think first off, you can't have a good college basketball atmosphere if the students aren't tearing it up week after week. If we want to have any success in this, like I said, it depends on what's happening on the court, right? We need to have success on the court. And what's the one way we can directly impact that is by getting the students there, students showing up and making it loud. Now, the Colonial Crazy, they have their section. We've seen the tape, we've seen some footage. You guys get after it out there. But if we can bring in everybody from Pittsburgh, not just make this Pittsburgh scene, not just the student body. If we can have, direct high school nights each week where we're coming out and we're bringing it, we're putting kids in videos, we're giving kids the opportunity. We're going to have big signs, merch. We're going to bring out, like I said, local celebrities. Maybe, I don't know, we get some plans for some some special guests that'll come out to some different games, right? But essentially, it's using my network, using the people that we built, the people that we film with, the people that are creators like myself that students and kids here in Pittsburgh enjoy. That's the biggest piece of leverage we have is to be able to get people excited to be there, not only to see what's about to happen at the game, but once they get there, make sure they want to come back. So I don't want to give away too much, but we have a pretty good plan for the first game to make sure that gym's rocking.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil. I don't want any spoilers. I don't want you spoiling anything that you that you don't want to, or the school wants you to spoil or anything. But just before I let you go, I saw Sam Houston, their football announced a partnership with Snapback Sports, another content creator, Jack Settleman. Is this something that programs in basketball, football, and not just college, but in all sports, professional sports, should be looking into maybe doing more partnership deals like this?
Yeah. First off, hats off to Jack and Snapback. They have pioneered the way in sports media for years now. They were one of the first companies that reached out to me when I was making content, to see them be able to get that jersey sponsorship in football after their college experience tour that they did last year. It's incredible, and what they're going to do for Sam Houston State is they're going to change the way that program is seen, and we hope to do the same thing. But I think we're just the first two, right? I'm the first in basketball. They're the first in football. There had to be a first. And once you get a first, that's when things can really start to move, right? So we want to make sure that, I've talked to Jack in Snapback, we want to deliver and over-deliver even more so that other creators, not just me, not just them, can make sure that this is a continuation and a change in sports media. That's the big goal is we have platforms, we have audience, we have opportunity, and we have creative ideas that the more schools that open their door to let us come in, trust us, and make sure that we can, fully tell their stories in partnership, in tangent with the school. That's where, we can really, really start to change the game and the way that people consume. Because your biggest audience, if you're a basketball program, if you're a football program, is on social media. You want that younger demographic to come in and be able to, be the next generation of diehard fans. And the schools that open up, RMU, Sam Houston, and there's a bunch of other programs that we've been blessed to work with. The opportunity, like I said, it's really endless, and I think this is just a start for creators in colleges. I think this is just a start for creators and athletes in general. Since that came out, we've been reached out to by different teams, schools, and players across the country of figuring out what else we can do.
Yeah.
But our focus is on RMU, and we're ready to ride.
Well, Colin, thanks. That's all the time I have today with you. I hope everything goes well. I'll be in the building for all the games this year covering the team. So hopefully get to meet you in person and just hope all of this goes well. The patch looks sick. I will say the patch looks sick on those red jerseys. They look very clean with that.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. I hope to see you front and center. We'll get you some shirts. We'll get you swagged out. Once we figure out our slogan, I don't know. Hoop Township in first place.
Hoop Township is a nice one. I will say Hoop Township.
It's pretty cool.
It's a pretty good one. It fits well, but if you guys could find something else creative, I think that'd be even better.
We love it. All right, man. We'll see you at the games. Let's do it.
Yeah.